Hey everyone, it's Zahara Stars with Pluto Astrology doing another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Pluto's transit into Aquarius. I just did a earlier video about Saturn's transit into the sign of Aquarius, and now I'm going to be talking about Pluto and its effects in transiting your sign. So Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus, as I was talking about in my previous video. And Pluto is the god of the underworld. And he represents all things hidden and suppressed, including our subconscious, including things that we wish to push under the rug and not acknowledge. He rules over psychology, personal power, will, and exposing things to us that we'd rather not face, okay? They have a water called Pluto water. It's for constipation. Big Pluto purge. Pluto's an icy planet with volcanoes underneath, representing suppressed emotions, feelings, suppressed things about ourselves, our personality, our needs, our true needs, our desires. So we all have our planets in different places, okay? And the sun represents our physical body, our personality, and who we are on a soul level. The moon is our emotional needs and our soul. But our sun is who we want to be perceived as and who we are at our best, okay? Because the sun is where we want to shine. It also rules over our physical body. Like I said, it's the first house of how we take action and initiative. Typically wherever your sun is also your first house, but it doesn't rule the first house. It rules the fifth house of Leo, the sun. But the first house in astrology is depicted by the sun and the rising sign. So you have two first houses typically. So if Pluto is going to move into your sun sign, what happens is Pluto uncovers your deepest feelings, needs, wants, the things that you push down and don't want the world to see, or that you hide, okay? And you hide from yourself. It pushes up your deepest needs, okay? And you have to get real with yourself with Pluto, because there is no avoiding Pluto. Pluto is intense feelings, intense emotions, intense expression. And Pluto reveals all that's hidden. So when it hits your sun, it's going to question you and who you are. And if you haven't been authentic to yourself and your true needs and your true self-expression, Pluto's going to show you all of that. He's going to show you where you've been hiding, okay? Pluto also rules over the dark night of the soul, because he's the god of the underworld, Hades, the god of hell. Even though everybody wants to avoid that, but that's who he's the god of. He's the invisible god. He was given the invisible helmet, so he could go subversively or go and get away with things hidden, okay? So he hides. So we don't always see him coming, we feel him coming. Much like Saturn gives us a lens to put on that shows us the weakest links, the faults. It gives us critical lens to look at, so we can feel kind of like grossed out by our situation, by who we are, by what we have. Saturn's all about high standards, high expectations. Pluto's about screw that. Who are you and what do you really need and want? And with our sun sign, we can act a particular way because there's aspects happening to it that can change and alter the way a sun behaves. That's why you read about Aquarius. Some Aquarians might be more conservative because Saturn is squaring their sun, or aggressive because Mars is squaring or opposing their sun, or sensitive and romantic because Neptune is making aspect, or more compassionate. So you can't judge anybody by their sun sign, first and foremost. But what Pluto does when it comes by transit to hit your sun sign, it's going to expose you to yourself, first and foremost. All your hidden demons, all your inner desires, all the things that you've suppressed are going to come out. Now, whether these are early childhood memories, parts of yourself that you haven't been expressing fully, that's been hindering you, holding you back, as with Saturn, how it gives you that, like I told you, that negative perceptive lens that you look through and you find everything not good enough. Pluto intensifies everything, and it makes you feel things intensely, and you can feel this ambiance of interested in mystery and finding the darker or seedier things more interesting, and you want to know more about it, and you want a relationship that's intense, and you want true, authentic relationships, and you will take on these Pluto traits that will make you more authentic to yourself, but also in the negative, more demanding, controlling, and bossy, because Pluto is about inner power, plutonium, about bringing out in others their deepest desires. So you may want to test your partners. You may want to see how far they're willing to go for you. You may want to utilize your personal power. It's my way or no way with Pluto. And this is usually the second phase, because when the first phase comes, it's exposure of you, your needs, your desires, your hidden things. Okay, and this can be scary because you could face up to yourself, because we often live behind our ascendant, which is the mask we wear. You know, we act a particular way. We've been told to behave this way. We've been programmed, okay, to behave certain ways, to not say things that are this way or that way, politically correct, right? And Pluto is not about that. He's about what's real, what's underneath all this hidden facade. Who are you really? What do you really need? Who do you really want to be? Have you been a pushover? Have you not been standing up for yourself? You're going to be empowered to stand up for yourself. But often there's a dark night of the soul first, because initially you are dealing with all these things and you're thinking, oh man, I haven't been true to myself. I haven't been honest with what I need. I've been acting this way when really I'm this way. All these early childhood things and behavioral patterns and things that I was told and believed to do are now suddenly exposed, and that's not really what I believe and what I want to be or anything. And I've been acting this way. And then as Pluto turns retrograde, you're going to go through all of that stuff, and you're going to uncover yourself, who you are, what you really need, what's been holding you back, what issues do you have? I know, right? What issues do we have? Are we afraid of commitment? Do we have fear of intimacy? Do we have fear of being ourselves? Are we trying to be politically correct? Are we always trying to fit in? Are we sabotaging ourselves through trying to be something that we're not? And what things do we have hidden? And things from the past can come up, early childhood issues, the issues within your family, issues within your siblings, issues within your friends. All these things can be exposed, because Pluto likes to expose. So that way you can face the things that you've been running from, hiding from, suppressing, putting down. So that way you can face them head to head, overcome your fear, which is ultimately the ultimate empowerment. Once you can overcome fear of what people think of you, fear of who you are, fear of the night, fear of the dark, fear of anything, you can then depict where your life is going to go and who you really are, and be that fearlessly. So Pluto is really about exposing, empowering, okay? But negatively, you have to be really conscious aware, because the thing is the influence is going to be something that you feel deeply. Some people develop panic anxiety disorder during this time period, because you can feel this dark night of the soul. You can feel Pluto's dark energy around you. Okay, some people get drawn into that. Some people fear it. Some people go, whoa, I'm being haunted. Some people feel like they're being haunted by their own ghosts of themselves. It can be a dark time. It can be an empowering time. It can be a lot of different things, because Pluto ultimately wants to bring you to your true self. He wants to uncover who you really are. He wants to have you overcome your fear by presenting you with things that scare you, facing your own inner demons, facing the things that you think are scary, being faced with those things, so that way you can overcome them and become empowered. So with your physical body, you can go through some sort of detox feelings, okay? Pluto rules the adrenal glands. So you can feel this flight or fight feeling. You feel intense emotions, intense feelings. Your body, everything is feeling things intensely as you purge out. Whether it's toxins in your body, literally, you decide to go through a detox, or you just fall ill because you have too many toxins in your body. Your adrenals get triggered. So you want to take care of your adrenal system during this time period to keep you from developing panic anxiety. Okay? You're going to face up to a lot of things that you've been hiding from yourself, and only you know what those are. And maybe you don't, because they're subconscious too. They're hidden things from us. Things that we don't want to talk about with other people. Things that we just pretend don't exist, but they really do. It's like the buoy in the water. You push it down, but it's got to come up eventually. And that's what Pluto does. He pushes everything up and out. So it's very intense, okay? It's a very intense experience because you are facing your shadow. You're facing everything you are. You're becoming more authentic to yourself. You're going to be more truthful and eventually more powered and authentic. More empowered and authentic. But you want to be careful about how you use your newfound power when the time does come. You also want to worry about irrational fears and anxieties, okay? Because as you start to feel this new energy, which is quite different from Saturn, of this calm, collected, serious energy, and Pluto is like, screw that. Who are you really? You know, and you feel this, whoa. So you may shift between serious, conventional, to intense, I'm sick of this, to all these different types of things. And the things that have been bothering you, you're going to want to let out. You're going to want to stand up for yourself. You're going to want to communicate effectively. You're going to be true to yourself. And you're going to get rid of the things that haven't been working for you. They're going to die a terrible death, okay? Because Pluto's about death and rebirth. But what he does is, it's like a volcano, because he is plutonium, explosive, purging, all this stuff just coming out of you, which can come out physically in physical symptoms, also emotionally through intense feelings and emotions, and then with power of enough is enough and I'm going to stand up for myself. But you got to control this energy, and awareness is key. When you're aware of what's happening, you can control it. You can go, okay, I'm going to face up to everything I need to. People can be exposed during this time period. So if you have a lot of hidden things, okay, a lot of people have been, because Pluto rules the 8th house of sex, death, taxes, all this stuff. You can get exposed for cheating on your taxes. You can get exposed for having sexual affairs. You can get exposed for a lot of different things. I've seen a lot of people go through this transit that were actually Capricorns being exposed publicly, that were famous during Pluto's transit of all their scandals. Pluto exposes and brings up and uncovers and brings to light, actually, ironically, what was hidden in the shadow. So initially, you're going to face up to a lot of these things. You're going to deal with all kinds of things that you have in your subconscious mind, all the things you suppressed and hid from yourself, all the things that you feared are going to come to you. Your fears, your worries, your anxieties, all these things. And people get scared during this time period. They feel this dark energy, and you see the dark energy in other people, right? The god of hell. You see sinistry things. You see sketchy things, people with power struggles, underhanded tactics, all sorts of stuff can come about. But ultimately, it is to expose so you can see clearly. You're not going to live any longer as a sheep, blinded, deceived, brainwashed. A lot of things are going to be exposed during this time period. And through that, you're going to feel intensely. So you're going to want to face these things head on. Make transformations within yourself, within your environment, within your relationships. You can often meet an intense Pluto-type partner during this time period that can help you transform. It all depends on what your sun sign is, but I'm doing this for Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. So you're going to really want to speak out about your humanitarian desires and needs. You're going to really be authentic with yourself. Not that Aquarians aren't, because we're ruled by Uranus, which is very authentic. It's the most authentic of, I don't care if I'm crazy. I don't care if I'm weird. I don't care what people think. I don't want to be like other people. So Aquarians are the most authentic. So the transit shouldn't be as painful, but it all depends. Like I said, if you have Pluto square your sun in Aquarius and you've been using your power unwisely and control, and you've been fear and anxiety ridden, and everything you've been doing has been based on control and stubbornness and willfulness, Pluto's going to break that down. If you have Saturn squaring or opposing your Aquarius sun, and you've been very, rigid in how you behave and how you act, and not being truthful to yourself or authentic to yourself, Pluto's going to empower you to break through those restrictions, those blockages, and become authentic to yourself. And the same thing goes for all the other aspects and planets. I don't have enough time to cover each one of these in these videos, but I am going to be doing all the astrology videos about the aspects and planets, and in your personal natal chart, and in synastry, and in transit, and all that stuff. There's just so much to cover. But Pluto transits are powerful. It's a volcano that erupts, burns away everything, so new grass can grow. New things can be begun. A new authentic you is developed. If things break away and end, they weren't good for you, it wasn't something that was lasting. Pluto teaches us that everything has an ending, so there can be a beginning. So you're going to get rid of people. You're going to end up dealing with situations that are going to test your will. You're going to have to find your own personal power to stand up for yourself, your own beliefs, what it is that you believe in. And it's a empowering time in terms of, if you've been living your life on a right track, you've been authentic for the most part, you haven't been misusing your power, you don't have a lot of secrets to uncover, Pluto's going to empower you, because Pluto's a planet of karma, just like Saturn. If there's something that needs to be broken down, exposed, you're going to be broken down and exposed. If you've been pretty much living an upright life, doing pretty much the best you can, doing good deeds, living openly, honestly, then Pluto's going to empower you to put you on your track of your life path of where it is that you need to be. Whatever career field that is, whatever purpose you have, you're going to discover during this time period. And Pluto's going to empower you to go fearlessly after it, because Pluto is power, okay? But used inappropriately, you get smacked down by Pluto too, because he'll give you power and test you on how you're going to use it. And if you use it wrong, when he turns retrograde, everything gets stripped away again. So you want to use the power wisely. You want to be aware of what's happening. You want to be aware that you're being empowered. You want to be aware that you're seeing the shadier side of people. You're going to be aware that you're being tempted to go down that dark path. But think about cause and effect with Saturn. All the planets have their purpose and their reason to help build us and make us better people. And Pluto is there to expose, break down, and rebuild. And sometimes in a brutal way. It can be very harsh. If you haven't been living upright and you have a lot of secrets and things that are hidden and things that can be exposed, they will be exposed. They'll be exposed to yourself. If you haven't been taking care of your body and you have a lot of toxins in your body, you can go through a purging. You want to take care of your adrenal glands. Okay, there's a lot of different types of herbal homeopathy type medicines that you can take for adrenals, to keep yourself calm, to keep yourself relaxed, to keep yourself clear-headed, and to stop yourself from going into anxiety, because Pluto will scare you on many different levels, because you're facing up to things that you've been hiding from or hidden from you. It can expose things within your family, things within, whatever it's going to be. But with your sun, it's really about you and you facing up to your fears and you standing up for what you believe in. So some of these things can come and push you as you get to realize, uncover these things and face your fears and fight through them. Because you will be challenged to be authentic, and your hidden deeds and motives and things like that will be exposed to you and even to others. So there is universal law. God, the universe, has a universal plan for all of us. And each of the planets are there to teach us, refine us, expose us, judge us. So we may not judge other people, but we're being judged by the universe. And we don't need to judge anybody else. That's for the universe to do. And it will do it. So we want to try to be the best people we possibly can. But with Pluto transits, ultimately, you're going to find out who you are, who other people are. You're going to want to cut some people out of your life. There's going to be endings and beginnings. You're going to be forced to face up to who you are, whoever that might be, and use that personal power to do good in the world, to obtain your goals, to make a difference, whatever it is that Pluto's going to empower you with. But you could see a promotion at work. You can get this personal power where you're finally in control of yourself. If you're somebody that's been bossed around, pushed around, used by people, no more after Pluto comes to strengthen you. If you're somebody that's been mistreating people, abusing people, mentally abusing, whatever, Pluto's going to come bring this all to you, and you're going to have to deal with it. So it is a planet of karma. And it does bring us either personal power, will, and wealth, or a breakdown, destruction, and exposure. And sometimes both, the breakdown, exposure, and destruction, and then personal power. And the exposure and personal power. However it's going to be different for everybody because it's based on how you've been living your life up until this transit. So, and that will be in 2023 when Pluto's going to go into Aquarius. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to get notified of all my videos as they come, please click the bell because YouTube's been getting rid of subscribers that haven't been active on YouTube. So maybe if you are subscribed, you may want to double check to make sure that you're still subscribed. And if you're new, click the bell so you can get notified of my uploads as they come. Otherwise, you will not get notification of them. And if you'd like a personal reading, you can visit my site at www.illumastrology.com. I can go through your whole chart, tell you what's to come, how to best deal with it. I do synastry, relationships, life, purpose, the whole 9 yards. It doesn't matter the area, career, whatever it is. I can give you a lot of really great insights if you're interested. Again, it's www.illumastrology.com. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me again. Until next time.